Pastor Kevin Tyler seemed to have it all: his purpose, his family, and his calling. But in The Preacher's Addiction, the man of God faces his greatest battle: temptation. As secrets unravel, lives shatter, and the clock ticks, the line between redemption and destruction becomes dangerously thin. Author R.T. Heyman takes you on a gripping journey into faith, sin, and the hidden struggles of the African American church. The Preacher's Addiction, available now on Amazon.
It's a miracle, baby! Yeah. Miracle, miracle, serves. Miracle, miracle, serves. Miracle, miracle, serves. Miracle, miracle, serves. We keep having all these problems. How we gonna solve them? Every day it's the same thing. Yeah. All these unsolved issues, I guess it's official. Here we go again, the same old thing. And I'm tired of the arguing and lying. So goodbye, all the hurt and crying. Things will change in you, so how can I expect something new? It's the same old thing.
Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is November the 1st, 2024, and today the topic is confirmation. Happy Friday. It's Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you guys had a wonderful week, because, look, your girl ain't talked to you in a good minute, right? I don't think it was since last Friday, right? But yeah, man, I know it's been a while, but it was not intentional. I'll let y'all know what all happened. But yeah, man, I'm glad to be here today, man. Glad to be giving some juice and sharing, right, what's been going on. So, long story short, man, a lot has been happening. The main reason why your girl was not recording the juice was because I was having technical difficulties. So I did try to post up an apology after maybe like day 2 or 3. I was like, okay, let me let the people know what's going on. Basically, my phone was getting to the point where I couldn't touch the screen, and I usually record. It's like I record on multiple devices at the same time, and that kind of held me up. And I was like, I could probably try to find a way to just do everything on a computer, but then it just was so much where I just was like, I'll just wait till my new phone comes, because I had ordered another one last week when I saw that it was getting to be too much. And unfortunately, it was supposed to come one day. It ended up coming another day, so that was already something by itself, right? Then after that, yesterday, if that wasn't enough, because I finally got the phone yesterday, but then all of a sudden, I'm getting ready to go to work, man, and I go out, me and my son, headed out. And apparently your girl need a new starter for my car. Cause yeah, I was pressing the button, cranking up the car. It wouldn't crank. Everything was turning on. It just was so strange. But at the same time, I know what spiritual warfare look like. So on one hand, I'm like, oh, the enemy's mad. Too much good stuff going on. Now we got to throw something in there. And it was very interesting actually yesterday. Cause my husband already was at work and whatnot. And I was letting him know what was going on, so he came back. And I know at some point, my husband was kind of sharing his frustrations, not like in a mad way, but just in a way like, knowing that he had like some extra funds or whatever. And he's like, he had plans for those funds, and then of course it seems like every time, you got plans and stuff like that, then something like this happens. Our son said out of nowhere, right after he said that, he was like, it's just the devil trying to get in your spirit. And I was like, from the mouths of babes. Because yeah, I feel like that's all it is. I mean, it's one. I know my mom, we talk a lot. Usually when we talk, she talks about, one thing or another happens in that way. But I'm not worried about anything. Like I said, new device now, so I can finally record on my multiple platforms like I usually do. Yeah, I did miss y'all. A lot has been going on my end spiritually as well. Your girl has been getting dream after dream after dream back to back, which I feel like have been, I guess, revelations for me, which I would say is the inspiration for today's conversation. But yeah, so that's been interesting, especially after, I think y'all know that I was praying, for more, not just discernment, but then also for being able to, I guess, interpret tongues. And then I was also praying for Once I started praying for that, I felt led to pray for like prophecy and things of that nature. And so all I know is after them prayers, y'all, your girl's been dreaming back to back to back to back to back. And then when I start interpreting them and whatnot, it hits home. And in some ways, it's been very interesting because I've been in this place where I'm like, receiving the confirmations. I'm like, okay, Lord, okay, But then on the other hand, I'm still kind of like hesitant. You know what I'm saying? I'm still like, now is this me or is this the Lord? Or you know what I mean? Like I've been going through that little journey as well. But for the most part, I feel like again, I'm getting these confirmations from the Lord about being on the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, different things like that, and that's been good to receive those. Yes, those dreams, but then also those interpretations and confirmations, right? And so again, that's where today's conversation is inspired by, because I felt like it was happening again this morning. I did have some dreams, but I didn't. I've been trying to do better about like keeping up with them. But there's been some dreams that I had over the past couple of days, and I've just kind of let them go by the wayside. But it was interesting yesterday. I was almost about to do that. So I had a dream. I had woke up whatever time I had woke up, and I was about to just kind of like turn over and try to go back to sleep or whatever. But then something in me was like, look it up or whatever. And so I was looking it up. I looked up the time that I got up. I looked up all that stuff, and it just was so crazy how it just was like hitting home. And I just was like, I'm glad I took out the time to do this, because I would have just bypassed the dream because it was only like a little snippet, and I was like, is that enough to even look up? But I guess I say all that to say that, I know I've seen this. I think it was Marcus Rogers that was saying this, but he was like, you know, God is speaking to us, man. And at the end of this day, it's like, are you listening, right? And if you are listening, then you may be like me, right? You might be receiving some confirmations about some different things. Now, like I said, it's been difficult to be receiving confirmation, because then I'm like, because I think I've told y'all over and over again, but here it is again. One of the most difficult things for me to deal with right now, with receiving confirmation or feeling like, okay, the Lord is speaking to me and I'm on the right track, is to make the observations of those around me, and especially those I love and respect. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and fellow believers, I'll just put it like that. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, because it seems like we're not on the same page, and we're not on the same path. We don't have the same point of view, and all these different type of stuff. But at the same time, it's like, but we're supposed to be serving the same Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, why don't we see this? Like, why aren't we in agreement? And that's been very difficult, because then it's like, it makes me wonder, like, am I missing it here? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I the one missing it, or are they the one missing it, or what? And so that's what, one of those things that makes me like really, really questioning and like take the deeper dives into my studies and stuff like that. But I still feel like, the Lord is a little refining your girl, coming out pure gold and whatnot. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm trying to do my part. And plus I understand that everybody's on different paths and journeys and levels, right, of understanding and things of that nature. And so that has brought me some peace and understanding about those things. But it's been difficult, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. It's been difficult, because it's like, we supposed to all, at least I'm sitting here thinking the Lord telling me and you the same thing, but apparently not. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? And then it's like, are you following the Lord? And I hate to go there with it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, anyway, that's a whole nother conversation by itself. So let's talk about confirmations, though, right? Let's talk about the confirmations. So, I would say that part of, again, yes, it was everything I told you that inspired today's conversation. But then, I listened to the prayer meditation this morning, and with the Soul Space app, y'all know the app I use, and as it was, going through everything, I was kind of distracted. But at some point, I started to really pay attention to, as it was reading the verses, and they were coming from Isaiah 61. And something about it just was really standing out, to where I was like, let me go deeper about that. So I went and, was listening to Isaiah 61 and was, reading it. I think I listened to or read it twice or something like that, or however many times I went through it this morning. And I felt like it was a message for me. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it was confirmation for me and things like that. But it was something about it. So I just kept going deeper about that idea. And then also, again, the word confirmation itself. And I think a little sprinkle of whatever dream that I had this morning. So after doing all of that, right, that's what pretty much led me to come to share these things with you guys, not alongside of having my devices working. But yeah, I felt like to go ahead and share these things with you guys, because again, maybe you're in the place where you're receiving confirmations too, or maybe you're seeking for some confirmations. Because as I was thinking to the Lord about this morning, I was like, well, Lord, I feel like you're giving me confirmations and you're, letting me know, I'm on the right path and, all these different type of things. But at the same time, I know that your word is saying that, it's not good for us to be looking for signs, but then there's plenty of people in the Bible that did look for signs. They were like, Lord, there was plenty of people that you did give signs when they asked, right? And so, again, like, depending on where you are spiritually and things of that nature, I think that hopefully this will encourage you and inspire you to, if you haven't received your confirmation, seek the Lord and ask Him for it. I mean, now He may or may not give it to you, because it's up to Him, right? But on one hand, I feel like He wants us all to come to Him and talk to Him and all those different type of things. So if He wants to give you the confirmation that you're asking for, or if He gives you another confirmation, I would say, I guess, seek the Lord for the answers, but then also be open to the way He answers and His answer, right? Be open to His answer, because at the end of the day, you might not like the answer, right? But then at the same time, are you going to just humble yourself to that answer, regardless of whether you like it or not? So all of that, right, is a journey all by itself. But let me share with you guys some of these verses that were standing out to me this morning. So the first one I feel led to share with you guys is Proverbs 3:5-6. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths." I actually wrote this verse down second, but I felt led to share it first because, again, I know it's an oldie but goodie. We know this verse already. I mean, it's not a brand new verse, but I feel like this is one of the things that we, I guess we have a lot of issues with, right? Trusting the Lord with all our heart, not leaning on our own understanding, right? And I think that's why I keep going to, ask the questions and making sure, right, that it ain't just me trying to tell myself that I'm on the right path. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, Lord, hold on, because it could be, my subconscious, or something like that. So again, it makes me continue to pray, right? Continue to like seek the Lord and make sure. Matter of fact, I actually, y'all see, I'm kind of duded up. I was recording before this. I was recording a future episode of the GSL Talk Show, and the gentleman I was talking to, he's talking about this, app he's created and affirmations, and I guess being mindful and all those different things. And it's a beautiful description of, I guess, how he lives life and different things like that. But it just, I guess, was making me think about, like, again, having the childlike faith, right? Being curious, right? Asking the questions and coming to the Lord with every aspect of your life and things like that. So I feel like all of that kind of goes in together. So hopefully that will encourage you and inspire you to, again, as you're seeking the Lord for the confirmations and things of that nature, humbling yourself enough to say, you know what? I don't know, Lord. You know what I'm saying? You the one that know all, and let me come to this like a child, seeking some answers from my Father, right? About the things that are concerning to me. Because even this morning, I was taking time to just think about, like, what makes it difficult, right, to receive the gospel, right? What makes it difficult to receive the things that are in the Bible, for example. And one of those things I was saying to God this morning was like, hey, Lord, at the end of the day, it's kind of difficult to, I guess, fully believe or receive when we haven't seen, right? Now, some people say they've had their God and angel encounters, and I'm not taking nothing away from those people that, because that could be, their testimony, things of that nature. I haven't, y'all done said this multiple times, I have not experienced that type of thing. Now, what I have experienced is feelings, right? I've also experienced, like, I would say sound to a certain extent, because I think I told y'all before about how there's times where I've heard either my name being called or things of that nature, and everybody sleep, stuff like that. And so, yeah, all of those things can be difficult, can make the belief process a little bit difficult. But then at the same time, I mean, the Bible's clear because it also talks to us about how, who was it? Lazarus and the rich man, and how he talked about, oh, well, if you send somebody back, then, my brothers will believe. And then pretty much told him, like, no, they got the prophets that's currently there. And even if somebody did come back from the dead, X, Y, and Z, they wouldn't believe. And Jesus is that example. He came back, right, from the dead, according to the Bible, and people, we still don't believe. And so, I mean, obviously, again, if the faith, right? It's not, basically it comes again, not by the seeing and things of that nature. It's the knowing, like, even as I was praying the things that I was praying this morning, I was like, I know you're there, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, I think I've experienced too much in my life to sit here and be like, he don't exist or something. And I mean, at the same time, again, looking at even the gentleman, like I said, I was talking to earlier, talked about again the fact that the earth being how it is, we being how we are, like all these different type of things lets us know that there is something, right? A creator or things of that nature, that things are by design, so it's like, if it's by design and somebody designed it, so all of that can kind of, you know, I guess kind of help us understand. But at the same time, it's like, we're never going to fully understand the Lord. I'm already, I guess, humble myself to just accept that. You know what I mean? I may not fully understand everything about God, and that's okay. At the end of the day, He knows all the things about me because He created me and things of that nature, and that's what I choose to believe. But at the same time, hey, we all on our own journeys and got free will too, so you can believe that or not. Let me share with you guys another verse. Actually, the first verse that I did write down this morning, which was John 10:27. It says, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." So yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. When I was writing down this verse this morning, I was like, so the ones that ain't following you, are they your sheep? Because there's plenty of us out here that's saying that we his sheep, but then we ain't following him. So then, going deeper about that. But hey, I'm not gonna say that the people that ain't his sheep. I'm just gonna say they might be a little bit misguided right now. But it's okay. I mean, hey, again, everybody's on their journey. It doesn't mean that they don't have salvation, right? And things like that. It's just maybe their faith isn't where it should be. Maybe their focus, right, isn't where it should be. And even for ourselves or myself, I'm not saying trying to just point at everybody else. I'm saying that, again, this is an ongoing journey to I guess go through all of this and stuff. And so um yeah, I mean, again, are we listening to his voice, right? Do we know him? Do he know us? I mean, obviously he knows us, but do we know him? And are we following him, right? That's a lot to think about all by itself, honestly. There were some other things I was thinking about to share with you guys about that too, but if it comes back to me, I'll share it. If not, maybe it won't for y'all. Let me give you guys this last verse that I felt led to write down this morning, and it was Isaiah 30:21. It says, "And your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it." Or excuse me, saying, "This is this way," or "the way." Y'all read it for yourself, okay? Let me start it over. Isaiah 30:21. And your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." When you turn to the right or when you turn to the left. So, obviously there's a lot more going on in that section, and there's more verses around it and whatnot, and to give, I guess, more context. But even the verse by itself is it reminded me this morning again that if we are truly listening and following the Lord, then he's going to tell you, which way to go, what to do, all the different type of things. And so again, if you're somebody that's seeking confirmation, if you're somebody that already has received confirmation, then again, I hope that these things encourage you and inspire you to, I guess for me, what I've been learning on this process is not only, I guess, to just hear the confirmation, but then accept it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, Lord, you done confirmed that I'm on the right path, and you done give me multiple dreams, like, and all these different type of things where, why am I still questioning, the path that you have me on, things of that nature. And so that's been kind of, I guess, difficult for me to do. Again, like, I think it's humbling me and keeping me to have the childlike faith and ask questions and make sure, and stuff like that. So I feel like maybe that's probably why I'm still on my journey of being inquisitive about whether or not, I'm really getting the confirmations and stuff like that. But, alongside of that, I guess the thing is, I did go deeper. I didn't write down this, so you guys can go do this on your own. But I decided to, take some time to, just kind of study more about, how to know for sure, like, what God is leading you to do versus anything else. And so there's ways. I mean, obviously you guys can go check out apps, or you can, just take some time to just study this yourself to get, confirmations. I mean, for those that listen to this, once I get done recording for the after show, I'll pull up my list and maybe I'll go through it and whatnot. But yeah, so take some time and do that. Seek the Lord. And yeah, man, listen to Isaiah 61 and see if that's resonating with you guys. And that's ultimately the juice this morning. Now, the Bible verse of today is 1 John 1 and 7. It says, "But if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship one with another, and the blood of Jesus Christ, his son, cleanses us from all sin." Friends, I hope you guys enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspirational juice. I pray you guys will go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Today is Friday, so we do have a new episode of the GSL Talk Show coming out tonight at 7 p.m. I don't remember the guest name at the moment. So my apologies about that. I forgot to write it down. But a lovely lady. I remember being a lady. So a lovely lady. We had a great conversation. So you guys can check that out tonight at 7 p.m. And yeah, I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.